Good morning on a Friday. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from KGW-TV in downtown Portland, Oregon. Interesting morning in that we've had a mix of rain, snow, and perhaps some pockets of freezing rain, mainly east slopes of the Cascades out into parts of north central Oregon. And then in Hood River, you're looking at the two cameras from this morning. This was all snow from last night and early this morning with hours and hours of light snow falling with a temperature of 32 degrees. I-84 has looked like it's remained in good condition, but that's Indian Creek Golf Course to the north and Cathedral Ridge Winery in Hood River as well. Again, a little bit of snow, like a dusting to about an inch. Temperatures in the gorge, including east to the Dalles, are expected to warm up to at least 34, 35, and maybe upper 30s during the afternoon hours. But a heads up that there are certainly pockets of wintry weather to be had for travel on this Friday morning. Now, on the flip side, Cascade passes at 4,000 feet and higher have mainly just been wet. Okay, so we'll talk more about the updated snow level forecast for the weekend coming up. And on the left, look over here. This is our one last rainmaker coming in tomorrow, Saturday, before we go on a stretch of mainly dry weather that could be about 5 days long starting on Sunday. Right now, timing of this final weather system, which will basically be a warm front, brings steady rain into the Willamette Valley and the I-5 corridor around noon on Saturday. So we'll track all of that for you coming up as we track one final weather system before our weather quiets down. Been a pretty good fetch of rainy weather going all the way back to the final 2 weeks of December, right? Okay, December, by the way, did finish with more than 6 inches of total rainfall. November did the same. So we are certainly healthy in the water bucket for the rainy season. And remember, the Mount Hood snowpack is setting at more than 130% of normal to date as well. Okay, all of this brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify. You can go in there and select your investment podcast topic that you're most interested in. Brought to you by local firm Momentous Wealth Management, licensed in both Oregon and in Washington. Okay, here's the live cameras. I just wanted to show again, there's the snow in Hood River. Sun River has some snow on the ground as well. And there's that Indian Creek Golf Course camera. No snow on the ground at Elk Ridge and Carson out in the gorge. And the clouds are solid all the way into the Warm Springs area as you look at the Canita Hot Springs Resort camera this morning. The forecast moving forward does include a winter weather advisory still posted from the Weather Service in purple here through 4 o'clock this afternoon. Again, this is mostly east slopes of the Cascades and out into parts of north central Oregon and up into central Washington and the Washington Cascades. A mix of snow and other wintry precipitation being monitored in those areas again through 4 o'clock this afternoon. Snow levels are actually on their way up, or excuse me, on their way down. Boy, I misspoke there. Snow levels have been 5,000 to 6,000 feet this morning in general over the Cascades. They're going to come down to about 4,000 feet during the afternoon. So again, this is 8 o'clock this morning. Look how widespread the rain continues to be between Portland and Salem. And especially northward up through Seattle and then offshore, and then solid precip through the gorge out into Pendleton, lighter precip amounts as you travel south. If I scroll down, you can see right here, there is a break in the moisture. Front comes into Portland between 10 and 11 o'clock this morning. Scattered showers, which is another way of saying some nice dry time as well this afternoon, tonight, into Saturday morning. And then this next weather system comes in, bringing us hours of steady moisture Saturday afternoon into the night. Here's a look at where we stand up on the mountain. Timberline 34, Meadows 32, Skibo 32. There's the wet government camp. Temperatures are near freezing, though. And again, snow level is doing this. It's coming down. So if we get enough snow shower activity later today, which we may or may not, there could be some snow-covered mountain passes develop. Santiam is just wet, warmer, 37. Willamette's wet in 36. Cabbage Hill wet out over the Blues in 38. Siskiyou Summit down in California over I-5 wet and 37 degrees. But again, snow levels are going to be coming down to 4,000 feet. And certainly at 5,000 and higher, there's going to be some decent snow today. Already we've had 5 inches of new reported at Timberline and at Meadows, but nothing at Ski Bowl. And we've got another several inches coming at the resorts today above the passes. And then Saturday, it's a wet mix at government camp, potentially some snow with snow levels near 4,000 feet, another 8 inches plus at Government Meadows and Timberline, up to 10. And there's that run of dry weather Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. Again, you can find all this information courtesy of Hillcrest Sports Store out in Gresham for all of your skiing and boarding needs. They sponsor my Mount Hood weather ski forecast page on my weather site, portlandweather.com. Okay, here is the Future Radar product from the American GFS model. And I'm starting this at 1 o'clock this afternoon with the steady rain now east of the valley and just scattered precip amounts coming through this evening, overnight. Here's Saturday morning, still scattered. Here is getting into the afternoon hours. This is 1 p.m. Saturday. Widespread steady rain moving back into the west side. Eventually Saturday night pushing through the gorge to about the Dalles. But notice this push never really goes all the way east. Here's overnight Saturday. There's some moisture in the blues. And here's waking up Sunday morning to mainly dry weather. Now, notice with me, there is a weak low that's offshore. It is weak. This is Sunday daytime. Some of the models push this measurable rainfall into central Oregon, keeping Portland mainly dry. So what happens if this weak weather system on Sunday? Well, it's either so weak that we don't get any measurable rainfall east of the Coast Range on Sunday, or it pushes rain in south of Portland like you're seeing, or we actually get some rain moving northward up into Portland. So Sunday's forecast is a bit in question. It's certainly possible that it's mainly dry, but realize there's still a threat from a weak weather system Sunday of getting some moisture inland. That system fades away. I think this model is overdoing that, but we'll see. And by the time we get into Monday, all moisture ends, and then we go on a long dry stretch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday of next week. Here's the wind report. So the rain that's yet to come, mainly from what comes Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, is another 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in the valley, and another 1/2 inch plus to as much of an inch at the coast. Really, the biggest forecast question right now is that weak system. Will it bring some more rain Sunday, or will it totally fizzle and we go mainly dry on Sunday? After that, confidence is high that we'll be dry. Here's what the winds are doing. I'll start this tomorrow afternoon, Saturday at 4 p.m. There's a warm front coming in Saturday evening. So here's some winds gusting to 30 plus right along the coast. Some south winds up to about 20, 25 in the valley. This is Saturday evening. And then once we get into, let me back up. I misspoke. Forget what I just said. I apologize. I'm getting lost in my own work. I thought those winds weren't high enough. That's because I started off Friday. I want to start off again. Let me apologize. This is Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m., tracking a warm front that comes in Saturday evening. Here is a wind bubble of 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts at the coast, some noticeable 20 plus south wind gusts in the valley, and east winds coming out of the gorge that are probably going to be stronger than what this shows. Again, here is Saturday, getting into the overnight hours, 40 mile per hour wind gusts along the coast. And then by the time we get to Sunday morning, that wind threat at the beach mainly gone. Some early 20 mile per hour wind gusts in the valley. And then as we go into the day Sunday, all winds just become light. And then it's pretty much a light wind field going into the day on Monday, as you can see right there. Sorry, I got my days mixed up. Real quick look at the European upper level flow pattern. This is starting this afternoon on Friday at 4 p.m. Here's that cold low. We've had a front come in early or by noon. Cold front comes into the valley late morning by noon on this Friday. Feeds scattered showers overnight and Saturday morning. Now here's Saturday's system. It doesn't look like much because it's a warm front, not a cold front. But see this little troughing here? This is the warm push of moisture that will be coming in Saturday afternoon into the night. But after that, here's Sunday. Hardly anything showing up. Remember, there's that weak system I'm showing up. It's right in here somewhere, but really weak. It may just fizzle. Certainly the big story next week is look at all the ridging taking place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we are in the Thursday. Upper level high, really strong. 591. It's hard. High, that would be unbelievably strong high pressure for this time of the year. And that continues into Thursday and maybe into Friday. Models were showing a front next Friday morning, but now they're starting to back off on that with the ridge perhaps continuing. This ridge pattern will eventually bring a temperature inversion pattern next week, which means eventually next week, maybe as early as Monday, we get into gusty east winds coming out of the gorge, strong east winds at Crown Point. We get into perhaps a low cloud lockdown in the Columbia Basin through the East Gorge into Hood River. And areas that don't have east winds next week, we'll get into some partly to mainly clear nights with freezing temperatures. So all that's setting up for next week. Let's go around the horn real quick. Medford 48 this morning. Here we go with rain chances through the weekend, and there's that dry weather, and there's temperatures getting back down near freezing into next week as well. Bend 32 this morning, precip at times into the weekend, and there's that dry stretch setting up Monday into Thursday, overnight lows getting back down into the 20s. Up in Seattle, rain into the weekend. There's that dry stretch. A couple of little shower chances next week, but overall mainly dry and daytime highs in the 40s. Salem, showers turn to steady rain Saturday. This shows this is biting on that likely rain from that weak system south of Portland Sunday afternoon. Again, we'll see if that comes true. Other than that, you dry out Monday and there's that long stretch next week. And then if you go to the coast, this is going to show likely rain on Sunday and then getting into dry weather next week. Highs in the 50s, still really mild overall. Let's go up to Astoria. Well, it shows rain likely in Astoria as well. Again, mild weather with dry temperatures, mild weather with mainly dry weather, I meant to say, and highs in the 50s throughout much of next week. Remember, these temperature inversion patterns can be mid to upper 40s in the valley for next week, and then well up into the 50s at the coast, which is what the modeling is kind of trying to show. So as you look at my 7-day, scattered showers this afternoon, night into Saturday morning, steady rain Saturday afternoon into the evening. I say mainly dry in Portland Sunday, but keep your eye on this Sunday forecast. That weak system may end up holding together. We won't really know, I think, until the weather models come out Saturday afternoon, if that weak system Sunday is going to hold together and bring some rain, or if it's going to totally fizzle and give us mainly dry weather. So keep your eye on Sunday's forecast, but all dry for the most part Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that is your update on a Friday. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, please do so. It helps me out, and I will talk to you soon.